When we look at cash management, we're looking at how do you manage your cash flow. And cash flow is incredibly important because no matter how much money people have promised to pay you, you still need to pay your payroll. You still need to pay your bills. So most of your workers are not going to be willing, if you're supposed to pay them their wage today, you're supposed to pay them today. They don't want to hear that you don't have the cash today, that you're waiting for someone to pay you so that you can pay them. Um, so having money flowing in and flowing out, and making sure you cover what you need to cover is very important. Techniques in managing your cash flow. You could try to get money in as quickly as you can and process payments as quickly as you can. So things like lock boxes and pre-authorized payments and things like that will help accelerate your cash flow. Get money into your bank account quickly. Try to minimize currency conversions. Those take a while. So if you've got money coming in and money having to go out, if you can minimize the amount of times you have to exchange money, that's a way of doing it. You can use transfer pricing, which means changing the prices that occur between parents and subsidiaries to make certain you've got money coming in or money going out, depending on what you need to do. You can also change the price that you charge your subsidiary. You don't have to charge them the same amount as you charge someone else. Again, you can charge them more if you need money to be moved from that company, from that country into yours. You can charge them less if you want to keep more money there. There's lots of different ways. Just be careful in how you do this. Some of these things may be illegal in other countries, so just be careful of how you deal with those. Oh, sorry, it looks like we skipped a slide. Let's go back. This arm's length pricing and things like that, all of these come back to managing flows of money from your subsidiary. How do you prevent money that is being blocked? If there's a limit on how much money can leave a country, especially through repatriation, then this arm's length pricing or this transfer pricing may actually be a way of doing things. Leading and lagging are also ways of adjusting cash flow. Leading simply means paying bills early. Lagging means waiting until the last moment to pay a bill. So you can lead or lag so that you can smooth out your cash flow. If you know you're going to have lots of money leaving the end of the month, maybe paying some of it early would help kind of get that stream better. so you didn't have a ton of money leaving at one time. Just again, it's the manipulation of the timing of the payments. You may lead and lag with your own payments. You get paid twice a month, and you know you've got a bunch of your bills are due at the same time, rather than trying to pay them all at once. Maybe you pay them a little early. Use some of your if you get paid the 15th and 30th, why not use the 15th of the month money to pay a couple of your bills early? If you then use the 30th of the month money to pay, at the very last minute, so you still get it in when when you need it to be, but wait till the last minute. These days with online bill paying, it's a little easier to do that. If you set up your payment to, say, your electric company, to leave your account on the 20th of the month, but you're doing it on the on the 15th of the month when you got your payment, when you got paid, you're deducting it from your checkbook, hopefully, but it's really not leaving until much later. So that's kind of the leading and the lagging that we're talking about here. Things that are going to complicate your cash flow are going to be characteristics of your company. How many subsidiaries do you have? How big you are? How much cash flow are you talking about? Obviously, the smaller you are, probably the easier the cash flow to manage it is. You'll have less money, but it may be easier to manage it then. Government restrictions, your banking system, the restrictions that there may be on how you bank. Distortions in subsidiary performance. Is the subsidiary performing in the way you thought it would? Are they being able to pay you when they need to pay you? All sorts of things are complications. All right. So that's the end of what we need to do today. Go back and look at your textbook and see if there's any issues that you need to look at. All right. And let's get going.